you. Hi everyone, you may know him because he has become famous in the world of self-publishing. Siava promised an update. In fact, we did the first interview. We made him commit. We got him to tell us his goals. So we said we would do an update. He set the goals. We did the update. We asked him again what he had in mind. And now we are doing another update because, by the way, it's our anniversary, right, Mark? A year ago.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for the invitation, Ricky. I think this is the third or fourth time we are here. So it means everything is going great, right?
Great. I was saying our anniversary because Mark practically joined our journey a year ago. Practically. Yes. The first years.
Yes.
Early April of last year. So you already know the story, right? We started publishing in July. So it's actually not a year of publishing yet, okay?
It's about 9 months. And a little, yes, 9.5 months, yes.
How is it going?
Well, I would say it's going well. No, joking aside, it's going great to say the least. Great to say the least. Super well.
For those who haven't seen the previous interview, Mark made 1,500 net in his first month of publishing, surpassed 11,000 in the second month, and reached 25 to 26K in the third month. Therefore, we did this interview where Mark practically made 100K in 4 months.
Exactly.
The cool thing was the net income, because practically 100K in revenue, 102K were billed, and practically 96, 97K net. So an incredible number. And so now we said, let's see. Mark had said he wanted to stabilize at that figure, around 30K monthly. Did you manage to do it?
Yes. So on average, yes. Apart from some slight fluctuations, which are part of the game. But yes, I would say that more or less we are there. A couple of months in a row were December and January, at 35,000, not counting, of course. A second account that I have, and then February. And March went down due to some problems that Amazon caused me, 97% of which made no sense. But we know it's part of the game. Now that I have, I believe, fixed them. Yes, more or less we are there. I mean, actually, last night I was already over 30,000, but combining the two accounts, okay.
Okay, so by April, by the 24th of April, are you already above 30,000?
Exactly, yes.
Advertising investment.
So the advertising investment is 1,200 plus $500-600 for the second account, I believe.
2,000, there you go.
Yes, 2,000 to be very generous. But yes, let's say 2,000, yes.
Until April 24th, 28K net, which means more than 1,000 euros net per day, if we calculate.
Exactly, yes.
So, okay, as we were saying, we were doing some calculations, 9 months that you've been publishing. So from July and 9 months, what is the total that you've made?
So the total, wait, I have it here. The total royalties generated is $257,719.
Good evening. No, but the shocking thing is the net amount, that is the net of these $257,000 generated in 9 months, starting from scratch. I want to specify because Mark had some experience in publishing. He had already studied some courses, but he hadn't achieved the results, it seems. He was making $50 a month on KDP.
Between 30 and 50, yes.
Now they have become between 30 and 50,000. Before they were between 30 and 50. So practically starting from zero and publishing in 9 months, he made $257,000, which is madness. I think in any sector, a person starts from zero and in 9 months makes 260K.
Let's say it's quite a strong result, yes.
It's really madness. And how much net, right? Because they will say, well, yes, in fact, 260. But how much would I have spent on ads? Would I have spent 100K on ads? No. How much did you spend?
Well. Actually, I need to calculate it precisely, so I can't give you an exact answer yet. If you want, we can do it live.
That's fine.
However, I believe I haven't invested more than $15,000 in advertising. Yes.
So we are talking about 257 minus 15, 57, 15, 40.
Has 240 to always stay low?
240K net in 9 months, starting from zero.
Exactly. I'll calculate them. Sorry, I'll send you a screenshot. Just to be precise and transparent as always.
Absolutely. Exactly. Then we'll put everything down here.
I don't want to bore you with calculations because, I'm not very fast. I'm meticulous.
But then again, I mean, you've always posted the dashboards every month in the group, so we already have the track record.
It exists, it's clear.
So I would say a lot of stuff now. Let's say for the more curious ones, what did you do before? So before starting this journey, what were you doing? What was your job? I was working with
I was always doing publishing, even though I actually had a period of, yes, exactly 9 months, let's say, of break. Because as I mentioned to you some time ago, I didn't feel like going by trial and error anymore. Okay? And so to continue wasting money, investing money poorly, which is why I bought your course, because I was really looking for someone who would offer a service, a product, where I could be personally guided. Okay. And in fact, when I found your course, I moved very quickly and bought it immediately. In fact, I remember we talked on April 7th, something like that. And by the 9th, I was already in the group.
I just actually launched the course on April 7th.
I believe I was one of the very first.
So, well, the choice has paid off. How has your life changed, if I may ask? Now, a general overview, of course.
Well, actually, not much has changed in the sense that I maintain my healthy habits, stay grounded, and I'm a person who calculates a lot, especially with money. I have always, let's say, prided myself on managing it well. So I didn't immediately buy the car. I don't know, things like that, okay? And in some cases that can be fine, but thinking a lot in percentages on a financial level helps me. The thing that has changed a lot is precisely the sense of tranquility, the freedom of choice, and the ability to help the people I care about. This is the thing that absolutely gratifies me the most and was probably the main goal, right? So, to be more at ease in making my choices and being able to help other people. Practically speaking, not really, okay? I need to increase a lot for it to make a practical difference.
It's not even necessarily true that one has to actually change, meaning that not everyone who earns money has to go to Ferrari and Dubai and do all sorts of nonsense.
Yes, I did indulge myself a bit. For example, I bought a guitar that I had wanted to get for quite some time. But these are still fairly modest things, let's say, okay.
But look, I am aligned with you on this point, because in the end, what money really gives you is peace of mind. Exactly. There's no doubt about it, guys. When you look at your account and see certain figures, you sleep more peacefully.
Exactly, completely agree.
You feel calm, you say, okay, fine, I can really be at ease. And this also gives you a bit more mental freedom to invest in the business itself, because it's one thing to do it there. You know that certain account, it's another thing to say, okay, I have my cushion, my life series is well covered. You feel calm, and consequently, of course, how you approach the business.
Sure, you work with less pressure. So let's say you're more clear-headed, you work better.
Absolutely.
And it improves the quality of sleep, as you mentioned earlier.
Absolutely. And also the ability to know how to generate money, right? Because it's not just about having it in the bank, because you could give it to a homeless person, okay? You could give them €1 million, presumably, within a year. If you blow it all, like everyone who wins the lottery, you end up either more in debt than before or committing suicide.
Or they inherit it, but haven't, let's say, gone through that mandatory mental process. In fact, speaking recently with a dear friend of mine, he didn't understand that the most important thing is actually the process behind it, the mental process. Not just to reach certain figures, but to produce them, to know how to manage them. While people, want the result to be more or less immediate, but they don't understand that the super important thing is the process behind it. Because even if tomorrow I were to, I don't know, lose all the money, no one can take away all the mental growth I've had in these months. That's the real gold mine, right?
The skills you have also, because if they take everything away, it's fine. You get back on your feet and you start making 20, 30K net per month again. So in the end, cash flow beats assets, in my view of things, unless we're talking about assets that allow you to live off the income. But there's no one who has 500,000 but earns 5K who is as comfortable as someone who has half of that but earns 4 times as much. And moreover, the process you mentioned is great because you can reapply it to everything, really to everything, even outside the context of online business. For example, if tomorrow you want to start another entrepreneurial activity, okay, you need to find someone who knows more than you, follow their advice, know that there will be problems, know that there will be obstacles. This is fundamentally a life lesson, and you keep going until the results come. So you can transfer these skills to anything. It reminds me, quite relevantly, of a person who wrote to me, among many during this period, saying
he wanted some advice on whether to start or not. And he was telling me, well, anyway, you were very lucky. Okay, so, I mean, that's more or less the mentality. Okay, he was very lucky when in reality people don't understand that behind it. There is what you are saying now. That is a procedure, a process.
absolutely. I mean, we are transparent and we tell things as they are. I mean, we don't want to make it seem like you snap your fingers and things happen, right? Because that would be incorrect. I mean, people see the lifestyle, but it's the same for me too. Friends, old friends, the good life here, the good life there. Because Dubai, because of the trips, but it's not like that. Then they don't see that there are still days, hours and hours of work. It could break. Problems. Anyway, thoughts. Anyway, that is not so obvious. So it's not just luck.
One never sees the behind the scenes of things, which is fundamentally the process.
Exactly. I guarantee you. Let's take this person as an example. I don't know who they are. I don't want to give them a point.
If he was very lucky, well, yes, after 4 years of setbacks, let's say I was lucky. Don't give up.
But I want to take this person as an example, starting from such a mindset. So you start off wrong by thinking that others are lucky. If you were lucky, okay. Or if the planets align and you hit the mark with 3 to 4 books, okay. Then you have to maintain it because it's not like Mark clicked 2 buttons and started making 30K recurring steps of Almenia. It's not that. There have been some hiccups. There have been doubts. There have been things he had to do. He had to talk to support. He had to see how to fix those things. Another person might have said, oh no, what do I do? They would have gone looking for their mom in some other group. And that would have been the end of the adventure.
So in this specific case, I told him, look, if you start with this mentality, honestly, I advise you against starting any business of your own because it's just not for you. But I say this in good faith, not because I'm irritated, because you won't get far. There's no such thing as luck or anything like that. You create your own luck, right?
Then there is someone who has been a source of inspiration and reflection. And from there, his perspective on things changes a bit, allowing him to understand things more clearly. But yes. So we were also talking about investments in the other chat. Has that ETF started? Have you started investing a little?
Well, not yet, honestly. Not yet, unfortunately. I mean, unfortunately, then, my responsibility. I have slightly procrastinated for other personal reasons. But yes, I am still ready. Yes, I haven't started yet anyway. Since we have to, let's say things as they are. I haven't started yet.
Are you diversifying or are you focusing only on...
What are you doing? I am negotiating with an American fund to sell the account, which is obviously not a complicated mechanism, but a bit tedious, let's say. There are many things to consider, agreements, flexibility, and you know this better than I do, of course. So I am in negotiations. In short, the figures are still significant.
Okay, for now. Let's not say anything.
But if you want, I can. Well, you already know it, so it's not a problem. We're talking about $750,000. Then it means, tell me. Sorry.
So the circle would be closed because in fact 250 here, 750 there.
All calculated. Exactly.
And off we go to the Bahamas in retirement.
Exactly. This way I increase my fortune even more.
I was going. I truly hope that this negotiation concludes positively in the shortest possible time. So let's say you focus there. You focus on closing this deal. You focus on publishing this for an account that you have, right?
For an exact account, yes, the second one that was brought to 10K per month quite quickly. Yes, I'm working on it, okay, but I'm not in a hurry. Actually, I'm not even in a hurry to sell because if I don't sell it now, when I reach a year of publishing through your path, theoretically, the value will have increased significantly. So I'm not in a rush. I'm doing things very calmly, not slowly, just calmly, without unnecessary haste, in order to maximize the income later. So yes, I am working calmly, serenely. I am doing things I believe precisely, done well. As it should be done, by the way, as you teach to do.
Absolutely. So you are not diversifying into other businesses.
Not yet. Not yet. I'm looking around a bit, but then you know better than me that 24 hours are
24 hours, okay. I agree with that, meaning that focusing on one thing done well, those opportunities are there. I mean, it's useless to divide the focus and maybe do two things poorly when done well. The results come, as you have seen with guys like Mark. They come, like Mark and like all the others. There are many guys who are doing well. They come. The important thing is obviously to start doing things.
And then exactly as you say now, it's not even mandatory that he has to change sectors. If someone is good at something, they can easily keep doing that thing as long as it continues to work, as long as there is still a market for it. Isn't that right?
Scalable. There's a sense the reasoning that I do know that I have always done, honestly, I say. I see, for example, this month my group will have posted the dashboard. I don't know how many people, okay. Let's assume that there are 10 people who make 10 little huts. So there are 100 little huts to take. Exactly so, if you have two accounts and you are making 35, 40 little huts, you can take them, but by force of circumstances, because if that money is coming out, it means there is flow. So you can go and take them. You can make other accounts. You can stay there. You can start delegating.
Absolutely.
But it's something you already know, right? It's something you already know. You can't just leave football and go play golf. I mean, if you're good at football, it's better to make it to Serie A.
Clear. You don't miss a beat.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Focus like this.
If I were to end the game here, when someone is motivated, has drive, and there is a market, obviously, why not?
Absolutely. Just think about the billions that go through Amazon on a fifth of the books. That is, because now the mind, one might say, but 10 little huts seem like a lot to me. Okay, but actually, if you think about it, 6 to 7 billion pass through Amazon every year just from book sales. So it's a big grain of sand. It's clearly nothing. Then you should ask yourself exactly compared to what? Okay, so yes, absolutely. That's a click you make. But did you understand this sentence you said? It struck me a lot. It's a click you make. And then when you start earning, there's more fire, right?
In fact, the, let's say, beautiful thing about the process in which you expand your mindset a bit, your mentality, grow as a person, and set more ambitious goals, is the fact that at the beginning you only want the result, while later you actually appreciate the process behind the result, what we were talking about 10 minutes ago, right? When you don't get the results, you say, no, I'm not interested, 10,000, it's fair, it makes sense, okay? But then when you get used to it with the proper terms, let's say, always with common sense, you understand that there's actually much more behind it. It's not just the result, it's the why, the how, is what fascinates me the most, of course, beyond the 10, 30,000, whatever it is, because that, as we say, you can...
Absolutely, because as we say, you can apply that almost anywhere. So to really understand, you can apply it almost anywhere. So to really understand, there's a lot to do.
Exactly.
Really reach the highest levels. I always say, obviously, you guys who are just starting now, making $1,000, $2,000, you should look at Mark as a superhero without taking anything away from him. Of course, he deserves all the credit I've explained to you, because luck doesn't exist. But you should think, if he did it, who objectively has 2 legs, 2 arms? Yes, and then I'm not a superhero in the sense. I'm just disciplined and motivated.
Alone.
Okay, but that's exactly the point. You have to be there, doing things. The only way to get results is to do. If you don't do it, you won't keep it. Don't kid yourself and get things done. So you should look at it and say, if he made it, I can make it too. I have to make it too. Absolutely. And Mark, on the other hand, should look at people who have made 100, 200 caps and say, okay, fine, they made 30, I can reach 30, now I need new. Strategies on a mental level, because then on a technical level, it's the same. When you make 30, you can make 60. There's nothing to it. You just have to replicate it. However, on a mental and business organizational level to get there,
it's the focus I have, obviously, always looking at people who are higher up without, let's say, envy or anything, because they are. That is always a positive cue. Why is that person doing twice as much as me? What are they doing better, more? It's learning, it's a process, as we said before.
Then the vast majority of the time, people like this you can talk to them, get insights from them, either for free or for a fee, whatever it is. I mean, even there, maybe a call that you pay 1,000 euros for, or 300 euros to talk to a person like that. And then who knows how many more they make you do.
300,000. Yeah, got it. So
this is another thing that is not well understood. Let's say
another thing that rarely happens, let's say, but it is extremely powerful and useful.
Yes. In my opinion, the training has really made a difference for me in many things.
Completely agree, as always.
Okay. So, Mark, Lino, we are good to go. Then, guys, if you want specifically Mark's story and everything, there are the other interviews. We just need to do a quick greeting, an update like this quickly. Feel free to write to us if you have any questions, anything below here on YouTube. And of course, we will eventually respond.
Yes, I am always very available when people contact me. I always respond. So
don't take advantage of it, because Mark also has to work hands 200 messages. But you see the point I was making just now, a second ago, right? So often these people from whom we can take inspiration might be available to answer us, to give us advice, we find ourselves in a situation that we don't know how to handle. It's not like we can talk about it with a friend at the bar. We will probably ask someone who has already been through it, and therefore, even on a psychological level, I would be much more at ease saying, okay, well, it's normal. If you say you have a problem, I say it's normal. I mean, even for me in conversion, but the book is selling a bit less now. It's normal.
Total panic? Yes. Ricky obviously knows everything. But if I were to tell all the events that happened to me in these 9 months, but actually it was fun. It's not the right term, but let's say fun. It was fun to solve the problems and understand a bit of all the mechanisms behind it.
Yes, it's just the mindset you have when you click. Either you let yourself be stopped, or you move forward. When you move forward, okay, another problem comes up to fix. Fixed, all set.
Yes, then the higher you go, the more I feel like saying the more problems you have to solve. So.
But in any sector, in any house, one of the troubleshooters will find themselves solving problems, but anyone who has arrived then. In fact, I invite you guys to go and read the biographies as well. Take even 4 people okay, maybe 2 women and 2 men, okay? So they are different, who have reached the top in 4 different fields, like, I don't know, sports, industry, the more the better. And realize that there are recurring patterns. They obviously had to go through not very simple processes, okay? But the fact of being motivated to move forward, which are 2 things that Mark mentioned earlier, they all moved forward and then became Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi or...
Yes, yes, of course. And the mask.
All right, guys. We hope we have given you some useful tips.
Thank you, Enrico, as always.
Thanks to you. I wanted to clarify, guys. So, Mark, you earn more than many self-publishing gurus who haven't succeeded. Just like that, a little provocation. Come on. Okay? To be precise, exactly. Exactly. All right. Great job, Mark. Thank you. Thank you too. A pleasure. Bye.